Hello everyone, it's Erica with Craftinated, and today I'm going to show you guys a project that I made. I'm calling it like a mini folio. I'm going to get to opening it up and showing you guys what it looks like in just a second. But if you follow me on Instagram or you've been watching for a little while, you know that I love Lyric Lover or Amber's channel. She has lots of good craft fair ideas on there, and one of her craft fair projects is the chunky notepads, and that's where you use these from the Dollar Tree, these mini writing tablets, and you end up taking off this top piece. I'm not going to open it up, but you end up taking off the top writing notepad and the back one, so you have three sandwiched with the chipboard, and then you have one with chipboard back that you can use to make the wallets. Well, I've made a ton of these over time, and I've been left with so many I'm saying so many of the top one, and the top one has no chipboard back, and I haven't there's been times where I've added the chipboard back to it, because she does talk about how you can do that to make a second wallet, but to me, in my opinion, it's much more difficult to do that than just use the ones that have the chipboard on there already. Like, it's one of those things, like, the juice is not worth the squeeze for me. I hate cutting chipboard. So I usually use my Cricut when I do any chipboard cutting. So I have found something to do with these, and it makes me so happy because I think it's super cute, and I love using things that I just have sitting around. So I'm going to show you guys. This is the mini folio, and it's super cute. And when you open it up, now this was my prototype, so it's not perfect, but when you open it up, it has these two writing tablets inside of the pockets, and then when you take it out, and then there's a folder back here. So I love it. It's super cute. I'm going to make one on camera. Let me just put this back in here. So what you'll need to do to make this, you'll need quite a few things, and one of them is a die set, and it's from Coco Reno. It's the 4-pocket folder die set, and last time I looked on their site, it was 50% off, and it was like $19.99. I will link it below. I got it from Peachy Cheap. My mom got it for me, and I don't know how much she paid for it because she gave it to me. I think it was Christmas. So really cute though, die set. So I think I'm going to be able to get away with using just one piece of my cardstock. And yes, this is the summer collection from Echo Park. I am still working through it. I'm making some really cute things, and I cannot wait to show everything. But I decided I wanted to hop on and show you guys this project with this paper. So I grabbed two pieces. I think I can get away with using one, and I'm going to be so excited if it's going to be a single sheet project and use up some of my supplies that are sitting around. The other thing that you're going to need are some eyelets. I'm using the white ones. These ones I believe I got from Michael's on clearance. I have the We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile Corner Chomper, but this is the angled one, not the rounded one. I have I forget what this is called, but it's from We Are Memory Keepers as well, but it's for the eyelets, so you can put the eyelet in there and chomp it in. And then I have to use my Cuddle Bug. There's a lot of things going on with this one, so I'm going to use my Cuddle Bug. And you're going to need the long plates. Now, I just got the long C plate. I didn't have the long C plate before, so what I was doing was I was doing the cutting on the regular size plates, and what I did is I just washied the die to the piece of cardstock and then moved it to cut the rest. But you can mess it up. I did one that messed up, and I made a few that were okay, but I messed up one, and it's just easier to use the long plates. So if you have the long plates, I would recommend those, but you'll need A, B, and C, so you'll need all three of the plates. And then you'll need a bone folder, scissors, art glitter glue, paper cutter, scoreboard. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's such a small thing. And you're gonna need some seam binding. I haven't decided what color seam binding I want to do yet. Let me take a look here. I'm thinking maybe the blue. Yeah, let's say the blue. The pink's pretty too, but I think the blue's gonna look better. So we're gonna go with the blue. So I can put that away. And then that's it. So let me move some stuff out of the way and we will get started here. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this branding strip off of here, and then we're gonna cut this piece in half. So it'll be 6 by 12, 2 6 by 12 pieces. And the reason why I'm using this piece of paper in particular to do this is because it is a pattern paper that doesn't really matter what the orientation is. I think it's easier to work with like that. If you have something that the orientation matters, it may take 2 pieces. And I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. But first, let me cut off this branding strip. So I'm going to cut it at 12. All right, and then we're going to cut it in half at 6. And I'm also lucky because on the opposite side of this, it also is kind of like it doesn't really matter what the orientation is. So we're going to cut this at 6. So now we have 2 pieces of 12 by 6. I'm going to put this away. And we're going to do the die cutting. So one of the most important things about the die cutting with this particular die is that you're making a folder. So to do it properly and have it so that as long as that's what you want, is to have the same print on either side, you have to do the first one on this paper, but then you have to do the second one on the blue, or your B side instead of your A side. And so we'll cut this one first. And you know what, there's like 1/4 of an inch over, so I am actually just going to take off a tiny bit off of here because I don't want, it'll just crinkle the paper. So let me just make sure there's enough space for the die. Perfect. So I'm gonna have to probably do that with the other one as well. So it's more of a 5 3/4 than a 6 by 12. So just to keep that in mind, so that way you can maybe save that 1/2 inch strip that you will get for something else. Because nobody wants to waste paper. All right, so now let's go ahead and line this guy up. And then you want to be careful when you're doing this, because with this, when I get done with this side, I'm going to put my one flap here, and then I'm going to flip it and do the other flap on the other side. And also, I forgot to mention, and I will link this below, I kind of got this idea off of somebody else's channel. I forget her name, but I will link her. I looked up this Coco Reno die because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it, and she did a little bit something similar with it. She made hers into like an envelope, and but she put like tags in it and things like that. But the topper that I'm gonna do is very similar to what she did, so I will make sure to link her because it was her idea. So let's go ahead and cut this one. And I always go back and forth. It's just something I've always done when I use my die. But if your die is decent, then you shouldn't have too much of an issue. And these dies are pretty good. So there's the first one. It has some score lines, all that good stuff. So I'm going to do this piece now. And I'm actually just going to trim off the excess here just so it's out of the way. Okay. So I'm going to do the pockets. Oop. And this is all very close. So I want to make sure that they can both fit. Ooh, it might be a little too close. Well, we'll try it. I'm going to try to do it. I would like to get them on one piece so that way I can only have to use one piece of the 12 by 12 paper. So we're going to try. Okay. So that is this piece, and then we're going to flip it to do the other one. And I think it's okay, actually. It's close, but it can definitely be done. All right, so that's our second pocket. And then what we're gonna do is put that to the side. I'm going to use this one on this side, and I'm gonna have to cut it, I forgot. Let me cut it real quick. So now we're going to do the other side so that everything matches up, because it's like a mirror. So you don't want to do the same side, otherwise it would be, and you could, if that's how the look you're going for, you could definitely do that. But if you do it that way, then you're gonna have a plaid on one side and the flower on the other, and I want them to be the same. Okay. All right, so now we have our one piece, and then to do the flap, I'm just going to send it through. Let me cut it down again. So to do the flap, I'm just going to send it through again. I think we want to turn it around to do it. Well, I'm going to. Hopefully that works. All right, so I'm just going to put it here. It doesn't really matter where you put it, but you want to have enough of a flap. So this one, I believe, so you're at the end, you're going to be using this score line that's here, and the flap that's here is going to go on to the back. That's what you glue down, and then your score line, and then I cut off and make it a 1.5 inch on the flap. So as long as you have enough space on here for 1.5 inches or however big you want your flap to be, that will be perfect. Okay, so that is all of the cutting, and at this point, I'm going to show you our scrap from this 12 by 12 piece. Basically nothing. So there's like hardly any scrap, which I love. I'll probably keep this piece right here, and I'll probably keep what I cut off of there, but the rest of this I will probably just throw away because it's not really anything much you can do with that. So let's move the Cuttlebug and the plates, because we don't need the plates, the dies, or the Cuttlebug anymore. All right, so we will be able to do this with just the one piece, which I love. So the next part is just finding how you want this to fold. So I'm just going to kind of loosely fold everything just so I can kind of see how it's going to take shape. So I want the color to be this really pretty floral. So that's what we're going to kind of try to maintain. So like this is your pocket. So you're gonna fold it in and over. And same with this side. Now I'm only going to very loosely fold on this one, because when you're lining it up, and this is what I found that from watching the other person's video, is that you can have a little bit of issues lining it up when you're gluing it down. For some reason it just doesn't love to be done. So I'm gonna glue that down first, and then we'll glue the other stuff down. And I'm just going to use wet glue. So I'm going to glue on the inside of this one and the outside of this one. And make sure they are lined up on the seam. And then this blue will be like kind of like the bind on the outside right here. And then you're going to want to make your pockets. This is when I'm going to use my bone folder to make these lines a little bit more crisp. And then you're going to glue around the bottom and up here with your wet glue to make your pocket. Okay. And then I'm just going to burnish it down. And then now you have a pocket here. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I already think it's looking I love these. I think they look so cute once they're done. Okay, so we're gonna go down this side for the pocket. I keep getting big globs, which is not what I want. And then we're just gonna fold it over. And that is our second pocket. Now I'm just gonna work this over a bit on that middle line. I'm not gonna really burnish it down too much, just enough, because we're gonna put pockets in and we're gonna fill those pockets, so we don't want it to be too much of a hard, it's gonna be more of like a book. And let me just put a little bit more glue on this side. All right, we'll give that a second to dry. While that's drying, we'll make our inside pockets. So you just fold over the flaps. We want the floral piece to be outward. And we're gonna fold down these flaps. And then the floral piece will be outward. And so now we're almost done with our pocket. And then we'll put this on the front. And it's gonna look so cute when it's done. So I am gonna just kind of like fold it over a bit with my bone folder between the score line. And the reason I do this is because we're putting in those books. So I wanna make sure there's enough space kind of already earmarked for that. So I'm just gonna put a dot of glue there to close the corners, and then we're going to put it down. All right, so we're just going to line up the corners on here. And I like to use wet glue when I'm working with pockets. Mainly because if you use the tape and you're doing a pocket and something gets stuck in there, it might rip. Usually the wet glue doesn't have that issue. And then I'm just gonna go inside and kind of burnish down the inside of the pocket. All right, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Oh, I forgot to wipe off the glue. I forgot to do a little bit of a spacer. Okay. All right, and then we're just gonna glue this down and line up its corners. And then that's the base of it, and then we're gonna do the top. I do need to glue this down. So with doing these flaps, I don't always go to the edge with the wet glue because I'm afraid that it's gonna spill over. But that just means you have to maybe go back, if you're like me, you might just have to go back in and just touch up a bit to make sure that it's completely closed. So let's go ahead and make the cover here, or not the cover, but the flap. So we're going to fold it at the score line that was made by the die. And then I'm going to get my scoreboard. And we are going to score 3/8 over. So 1, 2, 3, and score. And then I'm going to cut this so that there's about a 1.5 inch flap. And actually it might be pretty close. Let me take a look here. Yeah, it's really close. So I'm only going to be taking off just like 1/4 of an inch. So you're going to want your 1.5 to start at your second score line. One and a half. All right. And then with this, I am going to use my large angler, and I'm going to cut just the flap so they have like a nice little angle on there. I'm going to use the large side. And then I'm going to use my attacher and just kind of find the middle. I don't really like measure, I just kind of do what looks right. So that looks about to be the middle for me. Then I'm gonna grab, I like to do this before I attach it, just because it's a lot harder once it's on, once it's on the little book thing. So we're just gonna put that in and do the chomper on that. And then I'm going to just put this down on this side. So it'll be like so once it's done. And then you're just gonna line the score line up to the fold. And then we're gonna add our little books. Let's do the yellow and the blue. and out there, and I'm just gonna burnish a little bit more on the edges here. And then the last thing we're gonna do is tie our seam binding on. So let me find my blue seam binding. All right, so let's see. I don't know exactly how long this is. Let me measure. So it's about 23 inches of seam binding that I use. So I'm just gonna take my blue one and pull it out. And it's called Raindrop. And this is from my scrap cabin shop on Etsy. All right. And then I'm just gonna feed this in through, and we'll wrap it around this side and do a little bow right here at the top of the folio. And then that's it. That is our cute little folio to put some of those notepads in, or anything. What I'll probably do, I don't know, like if I'm giving these away to somebody, I'd probably fill it with goodies, because not only is there the pockets on the inside that we made, there's these pockets up top that are pretty deep, and I don't know if these would fit in there. I don't think they will. No, they won't. They're too wide. But you could put ephemera in there. You could put a bookmark. You could put some tags. Anything you'd like to put in there. So that is this cute little folio. Please let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. This is part of the Echo Park summer box that I got. The Club EP that I am working through. I've got some cute stuff made, and I cannot wait to come back and share everything that I've made with you guys. I love this collection. It's so pretty. I did buy extra because it's just too pretty. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I am thinking about making these for craft fairs this year. I think that they'll be really cute. I might put this on my Etsy page once I'm done with all of my, I'm gonna cut this off right here. Once I get done with all of this summer kit, I do want to put all the stuff I've made on my Etsy shop. And I think that what I'll do when I sell these, I'll probably, so if you do Etsy and craft shows, you know that there's like kind of a discrepancy with pricing just because of Etsy fees and things like that. So I usually have things a little bit more expensive on my Etsy shop than if you were to see me in a craft fair. So if I was at a craft fair, I'd probably sell this for $3. On Etsy, it'll probably be $3.50 or $4, just to give you guys a base on pricing. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you can subscribe here on my YouTube channel. If you hit the bell, you'll get an alert when I have a new video, and you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Have a wonderful day. Bye.